Alright, let's talk. I know a lot of you have been asking, and honestly, I've been avoiding this. But it's time to tell you the full story about what happened under that bridge. The story about the baby Bigfoot. Yes, you heard that right. And before you click away, just give me a few minutes. What I'm about to show you might just change what you think is possible. It all started about 3 weeks ago. I was out on one of my usual urban exploration trips, checking out this old, forgotten railway bridge just outside of town. It's a place most people don't even know exists anymore. The sun was setting, casting these long, spooky shadows. As I was packing up my gear to head home, I heard it. A sound. It wasn't an animal I recognized. It was this soft, whimpering sound, almost like a baby crying, but deeper, more guttural. My first thought was maybe a lost puppy or a kitten, so I started looking around. I followed the sound underneath the massive concrete supports of the bridge. It was getting darker, and I had to use my phone's flashlight. The whimpering got louder as I got closer, and that's when I saw it. Tucked away in a little alcove, huddled in a pile of old leaves, was this creature. It was small, maybe the size of a toddler, and covered in thick, dark brown fur. It had these big, soulful, dark eyes that just stared up at me, filled with fear. It wasn't a bear cub. It wasn't a monkey. My mind was racing, trying to process what I was looking at. The face was surprisingly human-like, and my heart just dropped. The first word that popped into my head was Bigfoot, a baby Bigfoot. I know how insane that sounds. I filmed the whole thing, of course. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold the camera steady. I'll roll the original footage for you right now, completely unedited. You can see it for yourself. Look at the way it moves, the way it looks at me. I slowly backed away, not wanting to scare it any more than it already was. I left some water and a protein bar I had in my pack, and then I just left. I had no idea what to do. Call someone. Who would I even call? The Bigfoot police. I knew people would think I was crazy. Over the next few days, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I went back to the bridge every single day. The first few times, I just left food and water from a distance. The little guy, who I started calling Buddy, would wait until I was gone before creeping out to eat. He was so cautious. Slowly, day by day, he started to trust me. He would stay out in the open while I was there, watching me from a safe distance. The bond we were forming felt ancient, primal. It was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. I spent hours just sitting there, talking to him in a calm voice, and he would just listen, tilting his head. The intelligence in his eyes was undeniable. This wasn't just some animal. This was a sentient being. I documented everything. Hours and hours of footage. I started noticing things, like how he would communicate with these soft coos and chirps. He was also incredibly strong for his size. One day, he effortlessly moved a rock that I would have struggled to even budge. The mystery of where he came from was always on my mind. Was he lost? Was his family nearby? One evening, I got my answer. I was setting up my trail cam near the den when I heard a deep, rumbling call from the woods across the river. It was a sound that vibrated right through my chest. Buddy immediately perked up and answered with a series of excited chirps. And then I saw them, two massive, shadowy figures stepping out from the tree line on the other side of the water. They were huge, easily 8 or 9 feet tall. My blood ran cold. This was it. His parents, they called out again, and Buddy started making his way towards the riverbank, looking back at me one last time. It was a look I'll never forget. It was a goodbye. I watched as he waded into the shallow part of the river, and one of the large figures came down to the water's edge to meet him. It gently scooped him up, and together, the three of them disappeared back into the darkness of the forest. I just stood there, speechless, with tears in my eyes. I know this story is hard to believe. I get it. I'm still trying to process it myself. That's why I'm sharing it all with you now. I have the footage, the logs, the evidence, but more than that, I have the memory of those eyes, of that connection. What I found under that bridge wasn't just a cryptid or a myth. It was a child, lost and scared, and I was lucky enough to help him get back to his family. This experience has fundamentally changed me. It's proven to me that there are still great mysteries in this world. Wonders hidden just beyond the edge of our sight. So, what happens now? I don't know. I haven't gone back to the bridge. It feels like a sacred place now. But I'm going to be dedicating this channel to exploring these kinds of mysteries. I'll be analyzing the footage I have, breaking it down frame by frame, and sharing every detail with you. I want to start a real, serious conversation about this, because if they're out there, they deserve our respect and protection, not to be hunted or captured. They're a family. Thank you for listening to my story. The real story. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we are just getting started on this journey together. ILLB, posting a follow-up video next week with a deep dive into the trail cam footage of the parents. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.